Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I just want to talk about the anti-immigration protest that was held by the neo-Nazis today in Melbourne CBD, and the police's response to that, and the response of the public and the anti-racism groups and so forth. Now, I've already made a couple of videos on this, but I made a couple of mistakes. I had to fact check myself, and I'm just going to start all over again. I should have had this up hours ago, but yeah, so basically the neo-Nazis wanted to protest the immigration laws and immigration in general today. They showed up in the city. A bunch of anti-racism counter-protesters and groups showed up as well. Far more of them showed up than neo-Nazis, which, you know, is good. I'm glad to hear that. But the neo-Nazis did seem to have the support and protection of the Victoria Police, which disturbs me. It was much like the event recently, the anti-trans activists, where basically the neo-Nazis were basically escorted out. They were protected and given enough space to freely march and, you know, spout their propaganda and their hate speech and so forth, while allegedly the anti-racist counter-protesters were harassed and heckled and arrested and so forth. Now, there was some semblance of upholding the law, because you're not allowed to protest in disguise, basically, and that's what they were doing, because these neo-Nazis, of course, are cowards. If you really believed what you were saying, you'd put your face to it. You wouldn't hide behind a mask, or like me. I mean, I just talk. I don't hide who I am. I'm not like Doomcock, who has a mask because, you know, he has to hide his identity because he's saying things that aren't true. He doesn't want to be held accountable for. So yeah, so basically they escorted them out. They gave them space to basically stage their protest and you know, speechify and, you know, spew their propaganda and so forth, without being really interrupted or anything. And then they told them they had to leave if they didn't take their masks off. But they gave them plenty of time to basically hold their protest, and then escorted them out safely, you know, because they couldn't stay with the masks on. So I don't like the way Victoria Police handled it. It does seem like if they don't support the neo-Nazis, they're at least not pushing back on them like they should be. And it kind of disturbs me, because you have to keep in sight and not lose sight of what their ultimate goal is. They're white supremacists. They want to eliminate everyone who isn't white and straight. So everyone who isn't white and straight, they want gone. And not just in Australia, in the whole world. They want the whole world to be ruled, in America and Australia, by white people, and to eliminate everyone else. That's what they want, and we need to keep that in sight, because people brush over that. They get caught on the little policies and focus on the little things and little arguments, little issues, and they forget about the grand scheme, the big pictures. They want to eliminate everyone who isn't white and straight, like the original Nazis did, and we know how that went for 3 or 4 or 6 million people. And that may sound ridiculous, but that started off small, and that grew. And I just worry about where we could be, because I couldn't have imagined this would have happened 5 years ago. So I worry about where we're going to be in 5, 10, 15 years if they don't get the kind of pushback that they should be getting, because they seem to be sliding through and, you know, I don't want to say supported by the Victorian government, because they're not officially supported by the Victorian government, but I don't see them, the Victorian Police Force or the government, I don't see them getting the pushback they deserve. And what I sort of realised as I've gotten older with the police is really there to, you know, support the government and support big business and people with money, and they're really not there for the people. I grew up being told, you know, the police were there to protect you, and if you ever had a problem, you went to the police. If you were a kid and you got lost, you went to the police, they'd help you, you know. If you have a problem as an adult, you go to the police. But really, they're just there to protect big business and uphold the law and punish the public. You know, and support big business and the government. They're really not here for the people. So it's been really sad to realise that as an adult. And I had a few clues, you know, in life of things happening here and there that I witnessed, but I still just couldn't get past what I believed when I was growing up and what I was taught when I was growing up. But yeah, so I'm really proud that more, you know, anti-racism counter-protesters showed up, the neo-Nazis, but I'm disturbed by how much acceptance there seems to be for them, because at the end of the day there is a contingent of white supremacists and racists in the government, in the police force, in the public, and they are supporting this movement to an extent. I think they're a minority, but I'm afraid they're going to get a footing and they're going to grow, and I worry about where this country's going to be in 10, 15 years. And as someone who is under threat by these people, obviously I fear for my freedom and my very life, long term one day, because who knows where this is going to go. So yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm thinking too far ahead, but I think it was a lack of foresight that have led to, many tragedies, including the one I mentioned in Germany. No one would have thought that could have happened at the beginning where they ended up, but that's where they ended up.